Your own understanding, truth under Babylon's empiricism. What up? On here this day to basically talk about the difference between men and women because we are in a society that seems to not be grown enough or mature enough to understand the differences, the similarities, and to distinguish the contrast between emotions and intent purpose. Um, there's a difference, even though we all contain all these traits, but as far as the motivations behind men and women, they are very different. Men basically are consumed by the need to control. They need to conquer and control. That's just a man's nature. That's just what he does. Women, on the emotional side of the thing here, they basically are to use and manipulate. And I'm not saying that in a negative sense. I'm saying it in the sense of their nature. Their nature is to receive information. They receive signals. They receive messages that obviously come in. And men basically assert. They give commands. These are lanes. These are roles that they play. That energy plays. You can't deny energy. It just happens the way it happens. It is what it is. So men are to conquer and control. Women are to use and manipulate. Like I said, conquer and control can be negative also. So don't think that, just because I say use and manipulate for women, that's a negative thing. It's not. It's just what their survival mechanism has brought them to exude when it comes to their living purpose. Um, and in the physical sense, they are, I guess weaker. So you actually have defense mechanisms based on your biochemistry and your attributes. So now, when you want to control and conquer the beings who are natured in manipulation and usage, uh, you're always going to be fighting a battle. It's a constant, continual battle. It's obvious. And when you create laws and policies based on a male agenda trying to pacify the female condition, then you get a bunch of dishonesty, and for the most part, everyone becomes female in the usage and manipulation of others. The female is going to win because using and manipulating is at the heart of every emotion there ever was. So manipulation is the key here. It's the key to everything. Everything is manipulation. So in order for you to control and conquer, you have to use some of that manipulation, some of that usage. So you got to use, opportunities and options and things like that. So they all go hand in hand. But in the grand scheme of the battle, the female will always win. A pole can bend and be destructured. A hole is always going to be a hole until you fill it. And if it's not to be filled, if it's just purposed to be a hole, it's going to be a hole. But a pole is only a pole until you say it's no longer a pole by using force to manipulate its structure. So I say that to say everything that men cry about women doing um, is futile. The purpose of men actually pushes women to assert their nature. in negative ways and create a whole host of problems for the ecosystem of the social construct. So everything that we reap is what we sow, because men know this. Men at the top who control, the handlers, they understand these things. They know human nature. They know how the brain works. They know how memory is tied to everything. They understand all these things. And they allow, just like the corporations who sponsor things like gig work or, just basic manufacturing, retail, whatever, they know that there's going to be conflict in a oppressive environment based on just exploitation. They know there's going to be issues. They know this, which is why you have human resources, which is why you have all these different, avenues of basically getting your point across when it comes to something that's going on in your company. But for the most part, they're just there as an ornament for show. They're not going to do anything for the social construct that they understand is going to be nothing but negative and confusing and frustrating because of the oppression and the exploitation involved in everything that we do in all aspects of life, basically. So they leave the poor reapers to fight amongst themselves. And the whole time they can sit back and they can make money off the tyranny that they have caused. Men know this. Women know this. Women know exactly what they're doing. They use manipulation. They know exactly what they're doing. Men know exactly what they're doing at the top. But the men who are basically amongst us are just fucking bumbling idiots because they're not being taught right. They're not being taught the masculine aspect of energy and how it flows and what we are supposed to principalize as men. It's being distorted. So this is on purpose. So I just suggest you kind of study energy, study yourself, study memory, understand what it is, and, stop playing the blame game. You can't blame women for anything that they do because men dictate what women react to. So, and how they react is how their nature. And they know what they're doing. That's why they are more cunning when it comes to relationships. That's why they dictate, what happens when it comes to, conflict between them and us. Like they know how to manipulate that shit. Because the men at the top know that the more power you give to the women at the bottom, the more confusion and uneasiness you get within the masculine pool that should be flowing free with energy of masculinity. But it can't because it's being distorted by the fools at up top, the witches and warlocks up top, who make bitches and fools down at the bottom. That's just what we do. Good luck.